I have wanted all of them dead. There's no one else I can say this to, but I've had this overwhelming desire for I don't know how long to see them all suffer exorbitant pain as they all suffer to their last breath. I've been researching ways to extract my vengeance, to commit my final solution. It has to be something scientific, something methodical, something so complicated and convoluted that no one would ever suspect me. There's no way I can get the used uranium rods from that nuclear power plant I saw on my last road trip. There's no way I can get in a Fermi lab where they discover the radioactive plutonium to get trace amounts of neptunium or plutonium, because spent or not, trace amounts of these radioactive elements could still be injected into their food, slipped into their hairspray, shot into their shampoo, and they would never know what hit them. So after I scoured the radioactive elements in the periodic table that are used in nuclear weaponry, I glanced back toward the top of the table and saw selenium. Wait a minute. I remember an episode of CSI where the actress who was a character on Melrose Place, who was also one of the women in Desperate Housewives, she conspired with another woman where one of them would marry a rich man and they would poison him with selenium until he died, leaving one with a hefty sum of money to share with her female conspirator. Okay, time for some research. Selenium, when discovered, they noted the similarities of selenium to the previously known tellurium, named for the Earth, which is why it was named in the Greek mythology Selene, an archaic lunar deity. Although selenium is used today primarily in glass making and pigments, it's also a semiconductor with selenium's unusually high ability to conduct electricity. But the light went off in my head when I read that selenium salts are toxic in large amounts, but here's the key: trace amounts are needed in all animals. This reminded me of that CSI episode where that red-headed actress worked with horses, which justified their need for selenium in their lives. Because although selenium is an essential trace element, excess amounts can be toxic. More than 400 micrograms per day can lead to selenosis. Acute oral exposure to selenium can lead to pulmonary edema and lung lesions, cardiovascular effects like tachycardia, gastrointestinal effects like nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and don't forget the severe abdominal pain. Selenium ingestion can even lead to cirrhosis of the liver and can cause aches, irritability, chills, and tremors. You know, this element's really starting to look like the way to go for me. Add this to their pizza and their garlic bread, since it leaves a garlic-type odor on the breath, and no one's the wiser. And the thing is, selenium has an oxidant mode of action similar to that of arsenic, which, as I said, is exactly what I'm looking for. Selenium poisoning of water systems has occurred in the past, possibly resulting whenever new agricultural runoff courses started. So it could be easy, actually, to get it into their drinks as well. So, now the question for me is how to get it, to place it into their food supply. I know some is needed, more for people who have a selenium deficiency, especially for patients with cancer or AIDS. And if it's needed for animals, I even read a case where animals were given the wrong injection levels of selenium, causing a mass horse death at a polo tournament. Well, a quick Google search for purchasing selenium would lead to many sites with no prescription needed to get exactly what I was looking for. The last step is getting it without having it traced back to my name, because once I get it, I can get it into the food or drink with no problem. Because, as I said, my overwhelming desire for I don't know how long to see them all suffer exorbitant and inexplicable pain until they all suffer to the last breath may finally have its last key. Because selenium can make everything come together, and no one will be the wiser. I'm enjoying the music.